Wouldn't that be crazy if that's all it was? Just that button?
Yeah.
Because I've never had to click that button before.
Oh, no. Oh, there we are.
We did it!
Hey, everyone.
Hey, guys. It was just a single button that needed to be pressed.
It's always a simple solution.
Yeah,
in the end, right?
Yeah. I don't know if you missed the first part of us saying hello and welcoming you all, but here we are. So thank you.
Happy holidays, everyone. We are in the month of the holidays, of Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, whatever it is that you celebrate. Good to be here with you guys. Welcome to Psychic Sundays. I am your friendly neighborhood psychic medium, Trance Channel Shaman, Riz the Wiz, and my other half,
Lady O.
So you were saying earlier that
there was something I wanted to talk to you guys about.
Yes, reindeer.
Well, it's kind of in the realm of reindeer.
It is in the realm of reindeer?
And it could
I must be
for
psychic.
Some people.
Really?
But
I want to hear this.
I wanted to talk to you guys about how you feel about spirit animals, totem animals.
Yes.
And the reason why I bring this up is because when I first started on my spiritual journey, I mean, actually, if I take it all the way back to childhood, I could even say that I had my spirit animals back then, which was the orca that stayed with me forever and the brown bear. So I didn't really understand it because I was a kid. I just knew that I was very attracted to those animals and I didn't know why. And I felt very compelled to always like tune into them and feel them. And as time went on, it went into the great big whale, like the big, I think it's the sperm whale or the blue whale, the huge one. And I mean, they're all huge, but like they're a really big one. And then as I started to really go deeper into my spiritual practice, I remember the white tiger, the big white snow tiger.
So how were you becoming aware of the spirit animals at such a young age?
That's a good question.
I mean, it was just something you liked. You looked at it in books. You were drawn, right?
You know, most kids, you see them with spirit animals and they're really happy. I mean, like real animals. They're real happy to tell you who their favorite animal is, right? And we take that for granted and you just are like, oh, how cute. I'm glad you like that animal. But I can tell you, I remember in detail as a child how I felt about those particular animals. I actually felt in communion with them. And I felt that they were my like soul brother or sister. Like I felt very much like they were my protectors. And I didn't know that then, of course, but looking back now, I know that's exactly how I felt. And what I wanted to ask you guys is if any of you have ever felt that feeling that there was an animal with you or currently with you, whether, you know, it could be on this planet or not, right? It could be a creature.
It can be a mythological or interdimensional creature. Some people have dragons, which, right?
But I would love to hear from you guys. Like, how do I say it? What is your current spirit animal now?
Well, I'd be interested tonight. I'm feeling like I would love.
You know, I've never asked you.
What my spirit animal is?
Yeah.
Well, I'll talk about it, but I'd love to perhaps in the readings tonight tell you what I feel your spirit animal is. You guys know I'm a shaman with 20 years experience working with people, thousands of people. And part of what I do along with the psychic readings is I lead people in shamanic plant medicine journeys. I lead them through spiritual death and spiritual rebirth processes. And this is work on deep healing, trauma healing, and opening the third eye. Everything about finding that freedom to become your true self. And what I always say to my students is that when they talk about, I want to change, I say, they want to become this new version of themselves. And what I like to tell you guys is that the new version of you is really the true version of you. You don't have to change to become that person. You are surrendering to that being which lives within you, what is your core, the truth of who you are, that light, that magic, that love, that power, that flow, that compassion, all of those things that you came into this physical incarnation with. And so the readings, the retreats, the journeys, all the things we've been doing for close to a decade and a half and more have been about that. So spirit animals aren't always your favorite animal. What do you think about that?
It's true, because there have been people who were drawn to animals that they never ever thought, like an armadillo or like a sloth or like.
No, meaning in readings, when I get readings for people, they'll say, "Can you tell me my spirit animal?" And they'll always think it's what their favorite animal is. Right. It's usually not that. Yeah. Spirit animal is coming with a message to guide you at a particular point in life. So a word about spirit guides, everyone. Spirit guides are there's kind of like categories. There's like a little corporation. There's not a hierarchy, but there's people have assigned
I
jobs.
like that you call it a corporation.
It is like a corporation. There's
It's
a
true.
department for everything.
There's movies that have with Matt Damon that they show spirit guides like in a corporation.
The Adjustment Bureau.
I loved that movie.
Yeah. It has a lot of great, what I feel are very authentic elements to being the experience I have as a medium.
Yeah.
So your guides, some of them are your regulars, meaning they knew you before you were born. They've traveled in different incarnations with you. And then you have what I call temps.
Yeah.
These are spirit guides that you pick up along the way, sometimes through a different phase of your life.
Yeah.
Your frequency, your vibration goes out and calls them in.
I want to give an example of what you're talking about. So I had all these really powerful big animals, elephant, whale, bear, white tigers. And then I came across a period of time in my life where the white owl was my spirit animal. And I didn't know how really to relate to this owl because it was just so beautiful, but I didn't really know what it can provide for me. And I had to dig really deep and do a lot of surrendering. And I found out it was its silence and its serenity and its quiet wisdom and its gentleness in how it navigates through life. It turned out to be one of my most powerful spirit animals. So where the whale you would think can carry big energy and hold you and carry all of your emotions and stuff. But I was surprised how much power the owl had. And if you ever, could you imagine an owl is probably very lightweight and just very aware, but
their bodies are.
You don't realize how powerful they are.
So the night of Halloween, do you remember this a few years ago?
Yes.
5 years ago, and we lived in a 100-year-old house on the top of this hill.
I find the photos.
By the ocean, and this house was in and of itself the most haunted place, one of the most haunted places I've ever been in a good way, actually, nothing negative, but just full of spirits over the years. And we had our annual Halloween party. You know how much we're into costumes and all of that. And amazing party. Everyone leaves. Now it's 2 a.m. We go to bed. The sun is coming up at around 5:30, 6 in the morning, and we hear this screech. And we were used to hearing the screech of owls up in the Malibu canyons. Anyway, wake up in the morning and something was compelling me to just open the front door, which never happens. I don't wake up and open the front door for anything. I open the front door and there's this owl laying there, motionless, dead.
Yeah.
On our step.
So beautiful.
In perfect
so
condition,
peaceful.
no wound, right? No wound.
It was
no
kind of
blood, nothing.
It was an out of body experience for me to see this because I couldn't believe this was real.
And we picked this owl up. And
I have pictures of this. I have to dig up. I have to find.
Yeah, we'll share with you guys.
And my
we placed him
two
on
of my kids were with us.
Yeah, Robbie was there, and we were just touching this. You've never touched an owl, right? Because the owls will not let you really touch them. A big one, and we placed him on this wooden table outside in the yard, and his eyes were open, and I put my fingers into his feathers. And you'd be so surprised. The owls are skinny underneath all those feathers. And my hand just went in all the way to here.
It was such a graceful moment that it was like he allowed himself to die for us to really feel him and touch him in a way that we would never, ever experience that before.
So when an animal dies in front of you this way, this particular way, what they are doing is they are gifting you what their particular superpower is. Right? Their gift, their ability as that animal. So what do owls have? The ability to see in the dark, amazing hearing. An owl can hear your heartbeat from like 15 feet away, like a barn owl, a big one. That's how sensitive they are. So this is very much about like kind of a psychic sense, which of course owls, Harry Potter, all these different kind of references that owls have had in pop culture. So that owl was gifting us and the family clearer vision, deeper vision.
Because it probably was going to cross over anyway. I mean, obviously.
On the front
But the fact
doorstep.
it chose to
Yes.
to just lay down and just expire its body and
no
retire its body
wounds.
with no wounds, just like natural causes. It was incredible. So yeah, I wanted to bring this up to you guys because some people don't know they have spirit animals and they're always looking to see who their like humanoid / alien type guides are.
Right.
And a lot of people will miss out on the powerful resonance and the gift of having a spirit animal. So let me talk to you really quickly about what the benefits are of having a spirit animal. Because you're like, well, why do I need a spirit animal if I have all these great other guides? So a spirit animal, if you go back to your most like innocent child self, you will remember how you felt about animals in the beginning of your life, right? Where everything was so magical. And when you saw a cat or a dog or a giraffe, like it just stood out.
Even if you were afraid of it.
Yeah.
Even if you were afraid of it, because it's about the impact.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Speaking of, I actually want to segue right here and tell you, do you guys know, I have microdosed and gone to a zoo.
Oh, really?
And let me tell you, you see the sentient beings that are.
Oh, you mean you physically went to a zoo?
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah, I know about that. Okay. I thought she was talking about, she went to some intergalactic, interdimensional zoo, which I was suddenly like,
well, I do that too now and then.
You live in there, baby.
But, oh my God, you guys, that is something, if you ever want to try that, you'll get reintroduced. Erica, our assistant, you remember that we have gone and we've had some major experiences at zoos where, I'm not getting into the politics of zoos. That's a whole nother conversation. But if if you ever want to get into the realm and understand where animals are coming from, and you're having a hard time through the density and stories of living on planet Earth, and you're all jaded and you don't see animals the same way anymore, this is a great way to restart, is to microdose.
Yeah, sure.
And you get a chance to go and actually sit and commune with these amazing creatures. And what you're seeing is a higher intelligence, sentient beings. You're seeing a powerful source of love, a powerful source of energy. And you can see that they're here for us, and you can go down that rabbit hole. We can go down that rabbit hole. That could be show after show about
the spirit animal rabbit hole.
Yeah. How animals showed up for us. So benefits are, if you ever need to be calmed down, if you have a lot of anxiety or if you're anxious, sometimes if you just look at pictures, videos, maybe even a stuffed animal, maybe go to a zoo, maybe have some, go to a place that has the animal that you're feeling drawn to, you will be surprised. Some people feel that way about horses. They're huge guardians for people. Animals like domestic animals, of course, cats, dogs, we feel very drawn. And also animals have been communing with us more lately. If you guys have noticed on Instagram and TikTok,
I get DM'd by animals all the time now.
Yep.
Is that what you mean?
That's exactly right.
Animals are communicating more and more on social media. Do you know I'm a part of Black Cats of Instagram because we have a black cat?
Yeah, I am too.
I love that when you put these hashtags and then they find you. So, with spirit animals, because we can talk about that all night, I think that there's something very fascinating about when we say, if you don't have a spirit animal, get yourself a spirit animal. What we're saying is that notice what you're drawn to, right? And there's something from that animal that you admire, some qualities that you admire. Learn about them, because there's so many fascinating facts about animals that you don't even know yet. And then when you hear about, or when you read an article or watch a YouTube video like, oh, the secret life of raccoons, and then you start to go, oh, yeah, I didn't know they did this. This is something to learn from. So nature, Red Eagle, who's one of the guides that I've been channeling for all these years, has always spoken about this.
And insects as well.
Yeah. I gave a reading once to someone, and they were asking me their spirit animal, and I knew that they wanted to hear like the unicorn. They wanted, and my readings, I don't tell anyone what they want to hear. First of all, that's a waste of my time and their time to just tell someone what they want to hear. What's the point? That's not a psychic reading. What I do is I'm always opening up to what at that moment is coming through, is what is supposed to come through. And when it comes to spirit animals, as a shaman and the ritualistic work that I've done, and as a channeler, combining those, that has done is allowed me to drop in and feel what animal has a message for that person at that moment. Mm-hmm. And so sometimes it's an animal that you go, oh, I don't want that animal as a spirit animal. Well, let's upgrade. Let's go to hearing the message and understanding it. So guys, when I do readings tonight, I may bring that forward to you about what your spirit animal is, and I'm looking forward to it.
And somebody asked what the purpose of a spirit animal is. So the purpose, and I think I covered a little bit of it, the purpose is to get you out of your head into your heart and to find another access point where you can feel love if you can no longer feel it currently just sitting there in your chair by yourself in your bedroom or whatever, and you're just not feeling it. You don't feel anything. Maybe you're numb. So what happens is spirit animals, and that's why they're here, and that's a longer discussion, but animals in the flesh and on the other side, the reason that they come to us, like dolphins and many other intelligent beings, is to remind us who we are and to help you to, it's kind of a form of meditation. And then at the same time, on a higher scale, they're your protectors. They're your guides, and they're actually giving you messages about how to navigate through life, how to get through day-to-day experiences. So if you guys are ready and you want to ask what or who your spirit guide is, as far as just spirit animals, that's where we're going to start. You can start asking those questions now as to who and what are my spirit guide animals. And some people call them in the Native American totems.
So if you're just joining us, welcome to Psychic Sundays. I'm Riz the Wiz MIRZA and my wife Oriah MIRZA, and Psychic Sundays is where we do live psychic readings, and it's kind of just free flowing, you know. We're usually here for an hour or two, and Psychic Sundays was our way of bringing what we usually were doing at our house on a Sunday night, which was just connecting with the guides and giving messages to our friends. And now we've turned it into this podcast for the last several months where we're just inviting you into our living room. This is where we live and how we live. And when I get a message, I will give it to you. Sometimes I get a message, guys, that before you ask a question, like if you've tuned in the last couple of weeks, I feel like there's somebody here, and I'll usually say their name or I'll describe a situation that's going on, very specific thing. And if that's you, you can chat with us here and I'll give you the message. And if you're new, and guys, those of you who've been here before, we do like to get to everyone. There's a super chat where you can get your question answered faster because it's a pay thing, but you don't have to pay anything to get a reading. So we try to keep it half and half and give everybody a chance, even though we can't get to everyone. But that being said.
Okay, so let's start with Carrie High Vibes. Hello, Carrie.
Hey, Carrie High Vibes. High five.
What is a creative way to ask Riz what my spirit animal is? Well, that was...
So you could sing it. You could text it to the universe. You could put it on a blimp. You could write it in marshmallow sauce. That's a pretty creative way. And then, send us the screenshot of that. So what is a creative way to ask me? You just did. Let me give a creative way of how to answer you. Carrie, high vibes?
Yes.
So the first thing that I get, which is very interesting, that you said a bug earlier.
Yeah.
So I see a bug.
What type of bug?
A termite. Now,
whoa,
let me give you the message.
Let's go deep here.
Okay, so the termite, people go, they're pests. This is the message coming straight through for you, my dear. Number one is to get to the heart. Why is a termite working with you? It is about what has been getting under your skin. What has been burrowing its way, eating away at you, Carrie. High vibes. What is pulling you out of your high vibes and sometimes getting you into low vibes? And this is the time at this end of the year right now for you to say to yourself, is it me just staying away from people who are, not high vibrational, like I don't want to be around them because they're not high vibrational? Or is it that you can be around anyone now? You're stepping into an area now where the more of the patient person in you, the more of the teacher in you, more of the compassionate human being who understands that everyone is on a path, so no one can bug you or eat away at you. Now, termite also is about, the message they bring is when it's time for change. So change of residence, change of perhaps even a working space. If it's not a residence, it's maybe where you work, physical structures, right? And thirdly, understanding that you allow the termite spirit animal to eat away at that which is now dead and rotting, and just let it go, like structures. What do termites eat away at? They eat away at structures. So this is a very important message for you to allow that to happen, and that certain things that are being eaten away, let it go. Let them fall away. And it's not going to, the sky isn't going to fall. It's just certain structures that don't need to be there anymore. What are those structures? They could be certain connections and friendships. They could be certain ways of doing things that you say, I need a totally new way of doing it in 2024. So it's a wonderful spirit animal to have, even though most people don't like termites. Okay.
Okay. So Christine.
Yes.
Would like to know my animal totem. In grad school, I would look up a Native American book, the animal that came to see me that day. So she would look at the book to see what animal
that's
was with her
nice.
for that day. Yeah.
The books are good. You know, now it's amazing because we can, it's not always nice to have books in shelves. Don't you like having books in the shelves? There's so many books behind us right now.
Yeah.
And at the same time, we can look up information on the internet. So one hasn't outdone the other. So I'm wondering why Red Eagle is coming into me and telling me to talk to you about this. Thank you. Well, you have a bird with you, but it's not an eagle. It's a woodpecker. Isn't it interesting?
Wow.
We went from termite to woodpecker. So there's a theme already starting on the second message, which is not just wood, but the woodpecker is about being heard, being busy at work, going into, because the woodpecker is not there to make noise. They're just doing what they're born to do. And, okay. So there's a lot of power in that little person, in that little being, that little bird. And so this is about you making the most, Christine, of, you know, maybe you see yourself as tiny, and that maybe when you don't go noticed, or people are, you know, looking past you in some way. And so the woodpecker's there to kind of make a little noise to get you noticed more and get your voice out more, and to help you to understand that you are a unique bird. You don't have to be an eagle, and you don't have to be a bluebird. You can be the woodpecker. And, you know, Woody Woodpecker, that old cartoon, was this silly person.
And they're so small, but their sound ricochets and goes through the entire forest.
That's right.
So they're heard.
That's right.
And no other bird makes that sound.
Thank you. So surrendering to your own uniqueness, and that liking your voice even more, and appreciating your own physical voice, the one that you speak, you know, you're speaking that voice. I don't mean your inner voice, your spiritual voice. I mean your physical voice. And so making peace with that, and allowing yourself even to understand that when that woodpecker is like chipping away at things, in a way, it's kind of like almost like a sculptor.
And a determination.
Determination. Thank you. So piercing through. And this is for you to understand that your little power packs quite a punch.
Right.
So don't worry. You don't need to overdo it. Okay.
And if you want to learn, some people are asking how to connect to their spirit animals. So if you want to learn how to drop in and connect, so the beauty of spirit animals is that they don't speak English, right? They don't speak your language. They're not speaking a language. They're speaking a language of communion through love and energy. So you have to learn how to be still and silent. But ways that you can connect is, of course, watch shows, documentaries, you know, look at pictures, find ways to communicate. Some people will paint.
You have to
draw
have
them.
right.
It's
you have
a way to find them.
Right. You have to have some sort of emotional connection. That's why I say learn about them and let yourself be fascinated by it.
Right.
So at first,
Whoa, that was heavy.
What?
That was really good.
Oh.
Let yourself be fascinated. Can we just take a pause here for a second? Do you know if you take that phrase and insert it just about anywhere, it could save your life?
Yeah.
That was a gem. Think about it. Let yourself be fascinated, which means you don't have all the answers. You're not jaded.
You're accepting that there's a mystery to what you're experiencing.
You're staying in your innocence, which is eternal. You're staying fresh.
You're allowing new information. You're allowing new information when
Right.
you're fascinated with something.
Stay fascinated.
Okay.
Whoa. Thank you. Okay. So I have a super chat from Chantel. And Chantal. And the question is, hi, guys. Thank you for your live Sundays. You're welcome. Would love to know who my spirit guide and spirit animals. So we're just doing the spirit animals, Chantal.
Chantal, you have a white deer with you. They're coming through so fast. I love it right now. I feel like I'm opening the floodgates. And this is what we were supposed to do tonight. So thank you. We had no plans. By the way, guys, we don't really go over what we're going to talk about in the show.
Do you guys want to know what we were doing right before the show started?
What were we doing?
We were watching.
Yeah.
What's it called? Christmas?
The Christmas Light Fight on Hulu.
You guys.
Some people compete.
We're addicted. We watched many years ago, and then we thought it went like it wasn't picked up. It turns out it was like 11 seasons. So we now, Erica, we're gonna.
You got to watch it.
We're gonna binge. Oh my God, you guys.
There's
don't
like 11
understand.
seasons.
Oh,
Yeah.
If you guys are out of shows to watch,
Watch
Christmas,
Hulu, Light Fight.
Light Fight.
Yeah. So basically families compete to whose Christmas display is the most lit, right? And they are amazingly.
It's
It's
so
off
good.
the chain. So the deer is with you. More like a fawn, actually, I want to say, Chantal. And softness. It is about softness. Softness being your strength. And never doubting that now, Chantal. Never doubting your softness. A way to activate this is to have very soft, furry blankets at home.
Ooh.
Soft fleece, like you go to like Home Goods or wherever those really soft blankets are, and
Do you
getting
guys
some
ever
for
walk
yourself.
by soft blankets at the store and you dig your hands in when you're walking by and you just have to feel how furry it is? Don't ever lose that. Sorry.
I'm very well behaved. I don't do things like that.
I know.
Okay. But you can do it. So feeling softness, things like even the textures of food, right? This is a seasonal food like pumpkin pie, things that are soft, and appreciating that and savoring it, because that is your gift, Chantal. It is actually when you let yourself stay sweet, and don't worry about when other people are sour. You're not being sweet for them. You're being sweet because this is who you are. And sweet is also not that you're being like sugary with everyone. That's not the sweetness I'm talking about. The sweetness I'm talking about is you are in the sweetness of life within you. You feel that. You're tasting things with your heart.
I want to go back to something.
Taste things with your heart.
Yeah. Well,
I'm
you know
coming
what's
up with.
I know
I'm
you guys don't
channeling them
understand
tonight.
what's happening tonight. We didn't know this was going to happen. We didn't know spirit animals. I mean, spirit animals are very powerful.
Yeah.
So let me tell you what's happening right now. Not only are you guys getting activated by this conversation based on the chats, but it's opening up a lot of like stories that you have about these animals. So let's go back to the termite.
Well, she just said, how does one connect with a termite? Well, we just told you. Learn about them. Learn about what's fascinating about them. Learn about. You cannot, Carrie, just look. That's what I was just saying.
No, but here's the best part.
You have to look into.
Carrie is insulted, because most people don't like termites, right? If Carrie's insulted, which is the appropriate and proper response for first response for a human being,
Right.
that's fine. There's nothing
Right.
wrong with being insulted. You can be insulted. But then there's a second part. That's what the show is about, is going deeper, right? So then there's a second and third and fourth layer to understanding the purposes of animals and insects on the planet, just like all things, they're part of nature, right?
Yes.
So as you are learning to understand the purpose of sentient beings, because all beings are conscious, you're going to learn there's more to just your first reaction.
Right.
So termites, bad. Ew, how do I connect? Ha ha ha, that's dumb. Well, guess what, Carrie? You're going to find out that termites are just as sentient and just
As a
as
dolphin.
aware
Yeah.
as all the other beings and creatures of this planet. And that's what we believe.
Yep.
So
every
that's your
single
termite.
thing,
No.
learn from it. When you are an aware person, there's no more boredom that ever happens in your life. You will no longer see things as good or bad. You will see things as there is deep, profound magic, the reality, the truth of all that is in every single atom. Depends on how serious you are. If your spirituality is just about, oming or listening to spiritual music or wearing certain clothes or taking pictures and putting them on Instagram in a yoga pose, and that's where it is, God bless you. But if you're tuning into Psychic Sundays and Metamystic, we are going to go into it. It is about awakening your consciousness to each moment that every single thing has a purpose and is alive and vibrating at a frequency and carries a potent message for you.
And you would have to check in with yourself to see if you
Right.
actually believe in that statement.
Right. Check in with yourself if you even think that, right. Oh my God, that's good. And if it's not, why isn't it?
Exactly.
Okay.
So we're going to go to Naria Ward. Thank you, Naria. I'm listening.
Naria, wow.
I'm listening in. So if you can, I would love to know if I have a spirit animal
Yes.
with me. I'm in a lower energy lately and I need to change that.
So I see a pink flamingo right now.
Whoa.
Pink flamingos, where are they? In Florida?
Yeah.
Are they only in Florida?
That's a Virgo question.
Is that
Okay,
interesting?
Erica, that's a question
the
for you.
pink flamingo is only native to Florida. But that's the first thing that I saw. Now, this is a message for you, Naria, about it's almost like the legs of the flamingo are so that it can be in deeper waters. So meaning it can walk through water because it can go up to a certain height on some very, very long legs. And it's also twofold message, because it's also about what you're eating, because I think that what gives flamingos its color is something that they're eating. So it's
true. It's shrimp.
Is it really?
Right?
Okay.
No, wait. Is it plankton? It's plankton, but it makes them turn pink. Yeah.
Don't go out eating plankton right now, Naria. Okay. But it is about, let's start with the physical aspect.
To me,
it is about how what you're eating is showing up through your skin. So look, it's very important when you take care of your skin that you use your creams or you wash your face, but true skin health comes from what you are putting into your body, what you are consuming, physically consuming. So staying hydrated, having your electrolytes, having your minerals, taking your fish oils or whatever omegas that you take. So all of that from the inside. Of course, then your spiritual work, your joy, your laughter, your surrender, you're working out your traumas, letting go of anger. Anger erupts in the skin. So something about how you are adjusting your diet now and understanding you are, in a sense, what you eat. Okay. First aspect that I told you about was those long legs and being able to walk through water and having perspective and know that you don't have to sink down to other people's level. Okay.
And they're very graceful.
Deeply
right?
graceful, that you can do this all with grace, that you don't have to be like, I don't want to talk to you anymore, and this is that, and you did this wrong. No, you're graceful. You are in your own flow. And so that flamingo is with you right now.
Chelsea Tripp would love to know what her spirit animal is.
Chelsea Tripp, what am I feeling? How interesting. So there is an animal that is in the African plains that's called the gazelle. And is that the one with I see a twisted horn.
Yeah.
Is that the one with the twisty, spirally horn?
An antelope, right? Yeah. Well, there's a lot of animals that have that. Are they short and go like that?
No, it's beautiful and long. So if you can let me know that is. That's the one that I'm seeing. And let me give you the message, though, Chelsea.
It's an antelope.
An antelope. So the antelope. Boy, there's an old saying that's called the wounded deer leaps highest. The wounded deer leaps highest. Deer gets wounded and it jumps because it's surviving. And then there's that old song that says, where the deer and the antelope play. I think it's a song about old-time America. This message that I'm getting for you is that there's this part of you that feels like you've been like alive or existing for a very, very long time. Like you're aware of that. It feels like you've been on this super long journey. And quite interestingly, sometimes people who've been on that very, very long journey also at the same time have this diametrically opposed feeling, which is that they're just brand new on the planet also. Like they don't know what's going on. They don't get this place and I'm done. The antelope is saying, stay in your grace and in your bounce. You don't need to be wounded to leap highest. Why do they say the wounded deer leaps highest? Well, because hunters have observed that basically, right? But you don't need that. You are now, it's almost like you are wiping away all of that, whatever part of you that has that, what the word existential angst, that term is? Mm-hmm. I mean, you're just questioning existence, right? So the antelope is here to return you to a very strong direction to go into. This also could be if you want to learn something new, training, education, I feel, and how you are taking care of those who are wanting to come with you, because you're obviously clearly on a more spiritual path. Otherwise, why are you watching us? And so who are you going to bring along with you?
Very interesting question from Alana KM. Hello, Alana. I have certain animals showing up. Friday the 13th, a tarantula at my house, praying mantis 3 times last month before my ex passed. Currently, I have a stray cat that showed up at my house with her kittens. I got chills right now. I would love to know what my spirit animal and my spirit guide's names are, or the names or signs they used to get my attention.
Okay, firstly, Many blessings to you, having experienced someone who's passed. Want to give love and energy for you there. And secondly, let's go to the cats. Cats with kittens, cats, 9 lives, birth, continuing on, regeneration, bringing you the innocence of birth again because you experienced death, to show you that birth, that life continues, that we go on. And cats have more than 9 lives. We have more than 9 lives. And cats represent the mother, even male cats. We aren't just talking about female cats, but cats themselves are very mothering animals. A cat will even take in ducks, where you would think a cat would eat a duck, but a cat can take care of ducklings. This is very natural for a cat. They have this very strong feminine quality to them, the yin quality, the mothering quality. Okay, praying mantis, of course, hands together, namaste, which means I see the divine in you. And you are then now bowing your head to the majesty of creation, the majesty of life, because you cannot go down, right? You have to stay up, hands up, connected to oneness. Praying mantis represents a very high intelligence as well. Now, those of you who are into aliens and UFOs and understand that there's an extraterrestrial race that are like praying mantises, they're considered very, very intelligent. Certain channelers over the last several decades have channeled that there is a race like that. I also, by the way, have channeled that. And that's on another level, but they do represent extreme intelligence. So that is a testament to you and how you think. And then I think you said, what was the first one?
Tarantula on Friday the 13th.
Fantastic. Okay, look. Friday
Tarantulas are probably one of the most incredible insects / animals / pets /
another feminine energy, deeply feminine energy.
Do you know, I have to say, I used to be scared of spiders. I'm not anymore. But we had a tarantula come into our house when we first moved in, right before we opened our healing center in Malibu back in the day, right? Mm-hmm. And oh my God, I lost my mind. Of course, I was totally terrified and freaked out. And we scooted it out with a broom. And I think in the end, we killed it by accident, me and the kids. And we were all freaked out. I have regretted. I have regretted that moment and had apologized so many times to this tarantula because she was trying to give me an omen and welcome me. I can cry over a spider, but welcoming me into our new home because they're so gentle and tarantulas don't injure. See, I'm still really emotional.
They don't injure?
No, they don't. They don't actually bite. And they would have to be provoked in such a huge way. Oh. They're so gentle.
So they don't attack, you mean?
They don't attack.
I see. Okay. Well, you okay?
I'm crying over a tarantula.
But see, no, look. But the spirit animals, you're connecting.
Because this animal was so peaceful and so gentle. And I had the first gut reaction, because I didn't know better. And I didn't take care of this beautiful creature.
Oh, yeah.
So it was a huge sign for you. And especially was on Friday the 13th. So,
which has nothing to do with bad luck, Friday the 13th.
No, it's just some symbols. I mean, all these symbols add up. Anytime you have symbols like this, or in any way, shape, or form, there's no accident.
Well, spiders in general, let's just talk about spiders as an animal totem. There are many, many amazing qualities of spiders. Number one is their engineering, being able to build a web. Look at that. Look at that incredible structure. Sometimes you'll see webs that are 10 feet, 20 feet across a garden. And throughout the night, that incredible creature is building from a material that's coming from within them. That's what's so fascinating about it. They aren't gathering materials and building like a nest. They're using what's within them. So take this as a very strong sign for you that it's time for you to start building your web. And what is your web here to do? To feed you in some way. It could be how you are developing your talents. It could be how you'd like to call in a friendship or a business or a relationship, whatever it may be. It may be how you decorate your home, how you're using things that are there for protection as well. So beautiful, beautiful animal totems you have around you. Good that you asked about it, and I hope that you take these insights for yourself.
I want to say hello to a lot of new people showing up that have never been to our show before.
Oh, okay.
Welcome to our show. Just take a little moment to say hello.
And give us a shout out what city and state or country you're from, because a lot of people are tuning in from My God, from all different countries and
Yes.
continents now.
Well, we want to let you know what we do is on Psychic Sundays, we take messages from, or we take questions from you live on chat, and we try to get to everybody, whether it's paid or not paid. And Riz does psychic mediumship, and he goes in and gives you your message. But tonight, what we're doing, we'll probably go for another 5 more minutes on spirit animals.
Yep.
Okay, so tonight we're just focusing in the beginning of the night on spirit animals. Hi from South Carolina, Maryland, Rhode Island, Connecticut,
Nice. I like that you guys are up.
Florida.
And it must be 10, 11 o'clock where you
Yes.
are, and you're getting cozy. And yeah, it's probably really
Canada.
cold over there. Where in Canada?
There's somebody here from Toronto.
Toronto.
England.
Amazing Indian food in Toronto. Amazing. A lot of
How would you
amazing
pronounce
food in
this?
general.
Oldham? Oldham in England?
Oldham. Love from across the pond.
Cali
in England.
in the house.
Callie's in the house. All right. Minnesota. Ooh.
Ooh, are we freezing in Minnesota?
Are you near Prince's house? Louisiana. Peru.
All right. Wow.
We will be in Machu Picchu in October.
I want to also share with you guys before he starts taking messages that's outside of the spirit animal realm.
Yep.
Here's some of the rules you guys need to know if you need personal messages from loved ones who've crossed over. Make sure you give your name because sometimes your profile picture or profile name will not have your actual name. So make sure you have your name
Just your first name.
and the first name of your loved one. And is there anything else they need to tell you? Like if it's their mother or father, sister,
They don't need to say
whatever?
that. But you can if you want to say that, but it's all fine.
Okay, great.
So let me
see if there's any more spirit guide questions.
Okay.
Or spirit animal. Because we have other questions coming in here for other things. Okay, so it looks like we might have answered. I don't see any more for. I mean, but was it related to spirit animals?
No, I was only looking at spirit animal questions. If
Okay.
there's any remaining ones.
Okay. Oh wait, let's just do Taylor Peel.
Uh-huh.
Did we do her? No. What is mine or my friend Julie Ann's animal totem? We get together for every podcast, yay, and have an Aussie celebration in honor of your amazing work. You guys don't understand. At some point, we need to connect the dots with Australia. Either we visit or we go on a podcast there.
I'm about to do a podcast.
I mean, we're
Erica,
starting
aren't I
to
doing a
get closer
podcast
to
in
the
Australia?
Aussie vibe and the connection there. The best thing you guys can do if you're from Australia is tell your friends,
Yeah.
and try to build some kind of interest, because then we can have an opportunity to go out there because we really, really
We'll do
are
a circle
being
of
called.
light. We'll do that.
Yeah.
So there is a podcast I'm going to be on, right?
Yes, next year.
Next year. I will let you
Oh,
know.
we
I
are-
probably
you-
can't.
Your first Australia podcast.
It is, but I can't say the name
Oh
yet, right?
shoot!
It's a very popular
Okay.
one.
So her question is, thank you.
Okay, I can go right into it. So
Yes.
for the friend,
Julianne.
I'm getting for the friend right now. It's a beautiful tortoise, and I mean a big one. Okay, and I want you to imagine this. I want you to drop in with me right now because I want to share with you what I'm seeing. I'm not just seeing a regular tortoise. It's almost like this tortoise. Its shell is like mother of pearl. It's not like green or dark. Imagine a giant. Now, how big? I would say that the tortoise is maybe 4 feet kind of shell, like that big. And imagine the shell that looks like that mother of pearl. So that iridescent, opalescent, so magical. Maybe you can get a picture of that, though. I don't know if anyone's ever painted that. This is where we could really use AI art, right? So go into AI and say, make me an opalescent, iridescent giant tortoise, and print that picture out and frame it. And that is your spirit animal
I'm
totem
going
right
to do
now.
2 quick questions for you that are just confirmation questions about spirit animals for 2 people.
Confirmation? Okay,
Just
sure.
confirmation.
Okay.
So, Adelie would like to know, owls come to her when a death of someone I know is
Adelie.
near. And so confirmation on that.
Yes, I'm getting, of course, like the crow. They are in a sense, kind of like the boatmen who take you across that river to the other side.
Okay.
For you, yes, owl. Mhm.
And then buckshot, last time Riz told me to get a picture of a deer. Lady O, I bet my spirit animal is a deer.
Well, that's why I would tell you to do that. Great, buckshot.
Okay,
It's funny
you
because his name
guys.
Buck is in there, and Buck is kind of a deer too. Isn't that interesting? Yeah. Okay. I want to start off because I'm getting a message. Just two things I want to say. One is I'm getting a message of someone here on the other side. It's a gentleman, and he's talking about somebody out there right now who recently got a crown put in. What is a crown? It's a teeth. Obviously, crown is a teeth. I don't know exactly what that is. But did you just get crowns put in, or you're going to get crowns put in? If that's you, let me know, and then I'll give you the message. The other one that I want to say is these are very specific things. So there's somebody here who's making a joke referencing something that happened where someone put something up a flagpole, like tied something to that rope that goes up a flagpole and then like put it up, or had a very big flagpole outside of their house. So if that's you, let me know and then I'll come to you.
Okay.
Those are two separate people.
Baron Von Crunch, Bob, he always puts in parentheses. Thank you, Bob. Riz, could you ask my mother, Linda Jo, for her thoughts and guidance on my recent decision to move and who are my spirit animals?
Number one, I want to say that this spirit just jumped in immediately. It is about, the first thing was leave the curtains there. Like, don't take those things with you wherever you're moving. It's time for like new curtains and like new blankets. Get rid of the whatever fabrics that are part of this house. They need to go. And otherwise, it is a thumbs up. And what was the second part of the question?
Spirit animal. What is his spirit animal?
I just heard toro, which is the bull. So it's a very
Interesting.
beautiful.
It came in Spanish.
Yeah, I heard toro.
That's a sign.
But that's the name of your spirit. I'm just simple. Just say toro. Toro, be with me. This bull is not here to cause damage. This bull is here to clear the way. And this bull clears the way not by knocking things over. It's just that simply the presence of this bull makes everybody get out of the way. So clearing the way for your move.
We found somebody with the crowns.
Okay, who was
on the
this?
Teeth.
Thank you.
Jen, yes, I just had my teeth shaved down for the crowns a few days ago.
Thank you. Hi, Jen. Well, good for you. This person who's coming through wants to know, this is an older person, so this is definitely a parental figure or some sort of older person to you coming through and saying you're going to be just fine. Make sure you are obviously taking the right kind of pre and post care.
So she had it done a few days ago.
Great. And just giving you love for that's happening. Okay. Just, you're being watched over, and make sure that you are cozying up like it's blanket time and watch your favorite movie time. Do you like Nightmare Before Christmas? I don't know why I'm just seeing that movie. I was curious about it, but like going into that coziness at night.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we're just going to start going into random questions. Are you ready?
Oh, sure. Random. There's nothing random.
Yeah, because there's no like theme. Okay, so here we go. First one up. Amilda Wright. I was born on the first day of the year, the first day of the week at midnight, the first hour of the day. Why did I choose this?
Because you wanted to be first.
I almost said that in tandem with him.
I mean, number one's lining up, my dear. Number one's lining up are very, very powerful, right? We got married on 11/11/11.
Yes.
They represent this master number. It is about oneness and unity in this life for you. So that's why you wanted to have those ones there for you. It's real simple, but it's simple is still powerful.
So, okay. Are you done? So Taylor Peel is just following up with what we're talking about, the Aussies.
Yes.
Love to touch you guys, or touch base. Julie Ann has the most amazing apartment on the beach in the heart of the most happening street in Melbourne.
Wow.
She is your biggest champion, and you can stay in her apartment anytime. How
that's sweet.
Thank you so much. Well, let's keep the energy going towards Australia, because that is on my bucket list for sure of places I want to go to bring our work.
I've actually been there twice. I've been to Melbourne. I've been to Sydney.
But not as a psychic medium.
No.
And not as a trance channel.
No.
So that's a whole different ballgame.
I went as a little tiny baby elf exploring Australia. I've actually been to Perth in the Margaret River, which was incredible. It was like walking back in a million years. Literally, I walked on that beach in the Margaret River area, which, for those of you who don't know, Western Australia, when I was in Perth, they had told me that this is the most isolated city in the world, meaning it's as a major metropolis, that there was no other major city close to it, that the furthest city was actually the closest city was actually also in Australia, which I think was either Sydney or Melbourne, but no other city was that close. So it's the most isolated city. That being said, on the beach, there was these old trees that looked like they were there from when dinosaurs must have been there. Mm-hmm. I really, really felt it when I was there. And I felt maybe I had an Aborigine life.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, Baron von Krench said toro,
Yes.
which was Spanish
Yes.
for bull.
Yes.
He said he's moving to Mexico.
No.
There's your confirmation.
Wow. That's amazing, guys. Right.
Okay.
Never gets old.
All right, here we go. Okay. So
I just noticed we're both wearing black and white tonight.
I know, I love when we do
We
that.
did not plan this, believe it or not.
Okay. Well, I can skip this one, or I can go.
Let me go into the next one. So
read this
well, I'm
one.
actually getting a message, so I
Okay.
want to go into that.
Okay.
Okay, so is someone holding onto a leather coat from someone who passed away? And does this leather coat have some sort of emblem on it? Like this is a motorcycle jacket with like someone who was a biker or something. It may not be a biker, but it just maybe an emblem that is on this jacket, because they're talking about this person has that.
Okay. Carrie High Vibes is saying, referring to the reading you gave
Yeah.
her, I just found a new house today. He was talking about change of residence and a new job eventually, and I will also have to ship for my clients for work.
I love it. Thank you for sharing. I love getting the confirmations. Oh, look who's here. Can they see her?
I think I think she likes to be seen.
She does?
And if I lift her up to
Yeah.
the camera, she'll run. So I have to let her do her thing. Okay, so
Can I take a look?
yeah.
Hold on. Stop there for a second. Go back.
So we haven't done a lot of these.
Okay, let's do those.
Okay. Tammy Lane, you have to ask your question.
I'm holding the magic pine cone.
Okay, so let's do Daniel Schmidt.
Did you know that your pineal gland, your third eye, actually looks like a pine cone?
Yeah.
Did you know that? Because she knows that. Do you know that? Does the person behind you know that? Is there anyone you can text and tell them that random fact? Did you also know, which you definitely don't know, is that outside the Vatican, there's this beautiful big statue of a pine cone, and no one knows why. Because where is that? But anyway, that's why. Because it's very ancient knowledge that the Vatican holds. Anyway, that for another time.
Well, the Vatican is a can of worms if you open up that conversation.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of, they know a lot that they can't really give out. But anyway, that's one of the things that's in Vatican City.
So Daniel Schmidt. Hey,
Schmidt.
I'm just wondering if my guides have any messages or guidance they want to pass along to me.
Ooh.
I've had some pretty big changes in my life.
Man, I just got getting chills. Daniel, just feeling you, brother. Wow. You sure are. You are like Luke Skywalker flying through space right now. Yes, you are dodging and flying and soaring. So sorry to cut you off. What were you saying about him?
If his guides have any messages or guidance they
but
want to pass along to me.
Anything else he was saying?
No, it just big changes in the life in the last 2 weeks.
Yes, you're Luke Skywalker and Han Solo all wrapped up in one right now. I'm showing my age with the original Star Wars, unless you're younger than me, but you know who they are. So yes, absolutely. Look, it's about the Force. I'm going to use the Star Wars analogy. The message for you right now is about that. The Force is everything. In spiritual circles, we call it the source. But it really is the Force. You're working with it. You're learning how to flow with it. You're learning how to channel it. It is always there. It's never not there. The more sensitive you are and start to become more confident in that your sensitivity is your strength, meaning you're able to receive information because you're sensitive and use that to help you to move forward, or to even become more still because there's a time to be still and a time to move forward, but you're still channeling that energy. For example, you know when people's legs shake? You ever have a shaky, restless leg, Daniel? Okay. What do you do there? Well, you don't take some drug to stop it. You learn through breath and meditation how to draw up that vital force energy up through those shaking legs and bring it up through your body. In fact, that energy that is like the shaking leg analogy, it doesn't mean that you draw it up and now your arm is shaking because now your leg stopped shaking. No, you draw it up and you let that energy, like an alchemist, you turn that into an energy that cleanses your aura off. So you don't even have to move. You're just drawing it up and using it to clear yourself. This is what you're being led deeper into with all these major changes that are happening. I do see a separation of some sort that happened on a personal level here. Do not lose your taste for the sweetness of life right now, because it's a different kind of sweet. Notice that when you get older, when you're a kid, you love candy and that kind of sweetness. But when you get older, your tastes become more refined and you can find sweetness even in like drinking or eating an almond. Can I tell you something interesting? When I was a kid, I wasn't really into eating almonds, you know? And then I went to Morocco and my brother was like, have some almonds before dinner. And I was like, no, I'm not into almonds. He just thought, why was I saying that? Mm-hmm. But I was so hungry that I took a few off of the bowl and I ate 2 of those Moroccan almonds. And it was like my mouth was bursting with, as if I ate almond like extract. It was so powerful and organic and ancient soil, and it was clean. It was so good. And I was like, wow. So speaking of source and force, even when you eat, look at where is this sourced from? Where are the raw materials sourced from? Again, you are a Jedi in training, Daniel. Got it? Got it. Good.
Okay, so Raiden. Hi, Lady O and Riz. Rain here. I have always had crickets come to me and sit on my lap out of nowhere and even sit on my lap. Would love to know the message and or spirit animal. Thank you.
Well, first let me go into this. When I'm giving you the message, even when it's not animals, I don't have an extensive zoological, database in my brain. I'm immediately connecting to that cricket energy and telling you what the message is specifically for you, Rain, as well as what the cricket will represent maybe to the general public. So all these messages are for you specifically that are coming through. So number one, have fun. And you go, well, what do you mean cricket? How does a cricket have fun? Well, I don't know how a cricket has fun. It seems like they're having a lot of fun at night, making all that noise and singing in harmony together. Sounds like they're having a party. And that's what crickets do. How come no one ever sees it that way? You walk into a swamp or a garden or something, you hear like millions of crickets. That's like you're walking into a party and it's a buzzing party going on, okay? That's what's happening, is to have fun, to mingle, and to know that there are kindred spirits out there that are going to join you at that frequency of where you are at and be one with you in friendship and in
have like
connection.
A song.
Yes. It's a unified song. Beautiful. So they're telling you to be with that and to not feel isolated, Rain, okay?
Okay, so this question is from Tiffany Sanchez. My ex passed away. Any messages? His name is Michael.
I'll come back to that. At the moment, it's not jumping in, so I'm only going to tell you when it jumps in.
Okay. Do you want to pick the next one?
I have something else to say. I'm going to give this message. No one wrote back yet, Erica, about the leather jacket?
I haven't seen it yet.
So there's another name that's coming through to me. If this name is connected to anyone out there. So the name is it's like Monty or DeMonte or Del Monte or this kind of name. So somebody's connected to that name of somehow. So if that's you, please drop me a note there.
So Jay Rangel, I want to answer your question, and it does almost seem like it's a cohesive question. You've given 2 or 3 different questions, but it's not cohesive enough for me and clear enough for me to just ask it straight away. So maybe you could work with Erica. Erica, if you can ask Jay Rangel. So what we need is the name of the person and your question about the person and whatever facts you want to say. But it's just it's just different.
There's so many people coming from the other side right now. There's also somebody over here who's totally obsessed with ping pong, table tennis. And that has to ring a bell with one of you out there. I think you still have their ping pong table. Okay.
Can you
Eric, are you keeping aware of that? Thank you.
So can you tune into Kathy Sheets Jantz?
Sure.
And see if it's if you can receive who her spirit guide's name is.
Hi, Kathy. Yes, I can. Kathy Jantz. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. It's a beautiful snail with a beautiful shell, like made of gold. Many times your spirit animal, they have a unique energy quality or color or texture to them, so you understand how magical they are. It is for you when you think that you are moving at a snail's pace, and meanwhile other people are saying, what do you mean you're not doing enough? You're moving so fast. And it is about you learning pacing. So snail is here about pacing, also about coming out of the shell. So where you learn the balance between when it's time to stay in and when it's time to come out. That's what 2024 is going to be about for you. The balance between kind of staying at home and going outside, feeling protected, and then when you feel outside of your comfort zone, outside of your shell, coming out of your shell, and learning how to pace yourself more properly, having better perspective on when you're moving slow or when you're moving fast. Because I don't feel you have that exact perspective yet, and that is why snail is coming as your spirit totem.
Okay, so this question is from Bernadette Desire. I never know how to pronounce the last name. Desire. Do my spirit teams have any advice for me when it comes to romantic relationships? Thinking of calling it quits. I don't have luck with men at all. Good
idea to call it quits. Why? Because calling it quits it's kind of closing a chapter of the way you have been doing things. It also is a way of shaking off a blanket that has had accumulated dust over time. It also is a way of giving up ideas, standards, expectations, ideals about how a partnership should come and how it should be. It's kind of like clearing the chalkboard. It's clearing the slate, even when it's I don't want to talk to anyone. Well, guess what, Bernadette? Many people meet their significant other when they say, I'm done. Here's two that actually did. Literally, I said that like a month before I met her, and she said that like the day that she met me. So
true story.
It happens this way, okay? Yeah. So this is good, but it has to be authentic. So I see the reason I'm telling you this is because I already feel the authenticity of you being almost done now, okay? Now, if someone else had asked me this, like, what's the secret to finding someone? I'm not going to be compelled psychically to say to them, well, you have to be done. Because then they would try to force that. They would try to make that happen by saying, well, I am done. And no, it has to come from you first, where there's a certain fed upness. That is a way of clearing your energy field. And the reason why I talk about your energy field is because everything, you're never going to attract, and this is the hardest pill to swallow, but I will tell you as your shaman and as a medium, that everything in this reality is frequency. Everything is a frequency match. There is nothing that is not a frequency match.
Can we slow that part down?
There is. Okay, what?
So everything is a frequency match. So I just want to say that most people, when they really find out what that actually means,
they don't like it.
They don't like that.
Of course not.
So say it in different ways. I'd like to put some more words around that.
Okay.
Can you share a little bit more what a frequency match is?
A doctor and a patient are on the frequency match because the frequency is illness. They are just coming at a different place. The doctor needs to have a patient. The patient needs to have a doctor. Now let's go to a deeper level. Sometimes a person goes, that person, and now mind you, we are also saying, look, if you're in any type of like physically abusive relationship, that we're not talking about that. That's a much deeper conversation, much heavier. Get yourself out of that immediately. What we're talking simply about right now is about emotional compatibility and understanding that a frequency match does not mean that you guys have the same personalities or that you care about the same things in exactly the same way. A frequency match is the belief that is a very strong, I want to say, energy source that you both look at differently. For example, some might say that, well, this person was a cheater and I'm not a cheater and that's what broke us. I go, well, how is that a frequency match? I go, because that's the thing that you both are focused on. And you go, well, I'm not going to sell out my beliefs and be with that person. Well, you don't have to. Just understand that if your frequency is fixated on something, that's usually going to happen. Now, you go, well, I've been fixated on having a lot of money and that hasn't happened. Oh, that's because you may be fixated on it, but it's coming from lack. It's not coming from actual magnetization. So this is where spirituality gets very, very sober. This is now we're really dealing with spirit. What are your core beliefs? So when it comes to relationships, hitting that wall, hitting that frustration, if you say to yourself, well, go past the last several people that you were attracting, and then that has to tell you something. You cannot say it was random, and you cannot say that it just happened out of nowhere. Nothing in the universe works that way. And if you think so, then for me, that doesn't align with actually what spirituality is, which is the study of how everything is energy, that we are all energy, and we're working with the force, working with energy. You can't say, well, yes, I believe that, but I didn't attract these people. No, everything is God.
You know the
right?
phrase,
everything is energy. Everything is the force, the source.
You know that phrase, the proof is in the pudding?
Yes.
I mean, honestly, this is like a really, really powerful spiritual phrase. The proof is in the pudding. So if you do not like who you're attracting, and you do not like your situation, or even the fact you're not even attracting anything, is that you have to change. You are the source creator. So you have to do the adjustments in yourself internally, and you have to make the changes to then attract a different frequency. Bottom line. We got some really good questions coming in.
Okay. Oh, who got the ping pong?
The ping pong guys here.
Who's the ping pong person?
Jean-Michel.
Jean-Michel.
My name is Jean-Michel. I used to be really good at ping pong in my younger days, and I haven't played in ages.
Thank you. I was wondering if you lost somebody, by the way, in the last 7 to... I'm getting the number 7 for some reason, maybe the last 7 years. But there's someone here on the other side that's talking about it and saying, play, Jean-Michel, because it's not about winning. It's about playing. It's like music. It's not about working music. It's about play. We say we play music. We play sports. And for you, that message is coming through. It's a gentleman excuse me. No, it's a female. Thank you. The one who's giving the message is a female, though there's two. It feels like father's mother, so paternal grandmother. That's the energy watching over you and talking about this, and that it's time to bring it back. Now, if you can't fit one in your house, then go to a ping pong hall and play and bring that back to yourself. It's super fun.
Okay, so Jay Rangel finally got back. So here's the question.
Yes.
My name is Jasmine.
Hello, Jasmine.
And my mom is Tiffany. Michael passed away recently, and I was wondering if he had a message for myself or my brother Raymond. It still sounds a little confusing, but that's
no, I totally understand it.
Okay.
So her and Tiffany had asked me a question if there was a message from Michael. I didn't get anything at the moment.
No, that was a different Tiffany. That one was
there's two
Tiffany
Tiffany's?
Sanchez. Yeah, this is different. So Eric, let me ask Erica a question. Did that question make sense?
She's asking about Michael, who passed away recently.
Okay.
That's the heart of the question.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And why did she say her mom, Tiffany?
I don't know why. She
Okay.
might just be saying that as part of context.
I got you.
Oh.
Okay, that's what.
And
was
you're
throwing
sure
me
this
off.
is not connected to the Tiffany before?
No, Tiffany Sanchez had a different
Oh,
question.
okay.
Okay, so she would like to know if we have a message for herself or her brother Raymond.
Yeah, give me a moment.
Michael passed away.
You know, when it's recent, Jasmine, I always tell people wait 6 months. at least 3 months, but 6 months to a year in general before you try to make contact. The reason being is that they're acclimating. The soul is processing a whole lifetime. But I do have a message for you. Are you into? By the way, Jasmine? Are you into chocolate? There's something about, because they're showing me all this chocolate and handing it to you. Like, it's okay to have chocolate. Have a chocolate. Have a piece. Okay. There's something about someone with an illness. Like, it feels to me, in the blood. Blood is usually like a blood disorder or a stroke of some kind, but there's something about, and I don't know if it's this person because this is very new, so the message sometimes doesn't come as quickly or as fast, but they're referring to someone here. Also, the name Joseph is connected here. Let me know about that. Made it through very clean and clear. Made it through like he's definitely not a fish out of water, like going into the other side. Not a fish out of water. Actually, very, very swam right into, like, from the river going into the ocean. From the river going into the ocean. I feel like there's more to that message than just the metaphor of, like, when he left the body, it was like going from the river and leading into the ocean. I think there's some reference to boating or some reference to somebody who's living near this as well. Raymond, are you into video games? There's someone, he's talking about that also. Made it safe and sound. Again, made it safe and sound. Let me know about that.
So this Michael is connected to Tiffany as well.
Got it.
So Jasmine is Tiffany's daughter.
That's what I was saying. Yeah, I got it. I knew that it was the same people.
Oh, you felt it. Okay, great.
Yeah. We just needed you, Jasmine, to connect, because when Tiffany asked, I wasn't connecting, but now there it is.
Thank you. So remember Jean-Michael? He said, yes, my grandmother thinks.
You got it. Thank you.
Okay, so we're going to go over to Stormy Jean Thiessen.
Hi, Stormy.
Hi, I lost my cat named Mouse, which is fantastic.
I love that.
Big cat approval
of a name.
of a name. A little over a year ago, he was a spirit guide, and although gone physically, I wanted to know if there are any messages from
100%. Like, came in that quickly, like literally like an electrical beam. And I feel that this cat has come to you. Okay, so by the foot of the bed on the right side, there is a spot where this cat is jumping there. Also, the cat is saying to, like, put your socks together. I don't know what that means. Like, are your socks scattered? Are you losing socks? And that's the spot that the cat is jumping into. Also, was curious if you have a connection to a name like either Lee or Elaine or Lena, some name like this connected here. But your cat is actually spending like literally 50% of their time already in your house with you in that spot. Next one.
By the way, I wanted to say something that Red Eagle, who you channel, which is Riz's main gatekeeper, Red Eagle, has said that these animals, these pets of ours that come stay with us and visit us and are with us in this lifetime, have been with us for many lifetimes.
Yeah, taking different forms.
Different forms. Can you believe that? So this is not the first incarnation. This is not the first time this spirit has been with us. That's why she knows us so well and has,
And it's the ones that really stay with you. Like, we've had a lot of cats. It's not like,
and you can tell which ones are not.
Some cats come and they go, and and it happens. You've had different dogs, and certain animals mean more to you. It's just the way it is, just like certain friends. And they are the ones who've known you the longer period of time.
Okay, Kayla Jones, you're next.
Okay, Kayla Jones.
Am I going to be having more kids, or am I done? Do my guides have any messages for me?
You certainly can have one more. I see that your vessel is very
He has a very good track record with pregnancy, you guys.
There's a very divine
listen
being.
up.
There's a very divine being that can come through you. There's a very divine being that can come through you. I'm going to leave it at that, because Mother Mary is with you. And Mary Magdalene energy, great divine feminine energy, is with you. And this is a funny character that'll come through. Very funny, very talented. And yes, you can. Next, did anyone answer my question?
So I have a question from Naduka Divin. Dear Riz, what advice from guides about my residency and work situation? Very emotional things. And I think this person also spoke earlier. Erica, can you confirm? I think they're from Switzerland.
Oh,
okay,
wow.
Let me go back. Naduka.
Hey, if you're just joining us, welcome to Psychic Sundays. Thank you for being here. We are in the middle of psychic readings. If you'd like one, type one in. You can also do super chat, and that's a paid service, but you can also just type in a question and we can get to it.
And if you guys enjoy watching us wipe our nose, what that is all about is we've had the beautiful and wonderful gale force winds all week. These Santa Ana winds have come through 60 miles an hour,
stirring stuff up,
stirring everything in its
pollen,
path,
ragweed,
sinus, headaches. Yeah. Oh, you name it. It is. You guys have snow. We have Santa Ana winds. If you guys
what else
know.
we got over here?
Naduga is in Switzerland.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So let's go back to.
And what was the question?
Yeah. Can you?
Her work residency.
Yes. Okay. Let me tell you something. The first thing I get is people are not listening around you. It's like they are closed. Their hearing is closed off to you. Is the first thing that I get. This is not personal. This is just the way that they are, and you are having to stand on your feet and stand your ground. It doesn't mean to be argumentative or to fight. What I'm talking about is to stand your ground and know that you are being taught by the universe right now to pull yourself up by your bootstraps, is the phrase that we use here. And life is just waiting for you right now to take a bite out of it. It's like you're not taking the bite yourself. And this is kind of a nudge from the universe. Your guides are saying to go forward and to say, I'm going to pick that apple off of that tree and I'm going to take a bite into it. And when I'm done, I'm going to toss the apple. I don't even have to eat the whole thing, because this is about you letting go of, I have to be in this particular situation for this amount of time. But what you're doing is you're giving other people the power. And it doesn't need to be a power battle anymore. You're already experiencing people who are having a power battle where in the work and residency area anyway. So what you're doing is taking your own power back. And what is your own power? That you control the climate inside of you. That's what your true power is. You control how you feel. And that creates the vibration of magnetism that brings you and your future experiences that are completely perfectly designed, that please you. Notice I say that also please you, because you can also have vibrations that attract situations that are more of a challenging time. Even though they're still for you, it doesn't feel as pleasant. So I always say to the universe, like I always say, be careful what you ask for. Always say, I would like to learn this in a pleasant way, because you can learn something by breaking your ankle too, right? So let's say we'd like to learn in a pleasant way.
Everybody,
and you're ready for
that. Let's say it now in unison, because everyone needs to hear this and say it.
I am open to receive the teachings in a pleasant way, and I promise to listen.
Say it one more time.
I'm open to receiving messages
in a positive way.
In a pleasant way.
In a pleasant way. Of course, I would mess it up.
She's saying something different over there. You're saying something different.
Oh, yeah. Well,
you get it.
That worked for about 2 seconds.
Come on, you get it.
Okay, well, you guys get it. Okay, so Carla Foster, you are up next. Did you Fooster. Fooster.
Carla, hi.
Advice from her guides on her financial situation. I know that wasn't the whole
Boy,
question,
it is up and down like an EKG. Let me tell you the financial situation right here and right now. First of all, I want to say that further on, I do see property as being a good place, a source of investment for you. And never take yourself out of the idea of investment. Even when you don't have money, you have to shoot beyond just survival. You have to start to think of expansive things, maybe expensive things. But I always like to say to people, don't think of anything as expensive, because things just cost what they cost. Because the moment you put it as expensive, it means that you can't have that and there's tension around it. So they just cost what they cost. That car costs what that car costs, and that car costs what that car costs. So just take those words out. Even if you say, well, it's expensive for me. No, just take that out. You don't need to even say that. You just say, it's not for me right now. Okay, that's all. You leave it at that. Don't get dramatic about it. So as far as finances, don't be dramatic about it. Yes, finances, even for billion-dollar, multi-billion-dollar corporations, they do ebb and flow. But see yourself more as a person in their process of expansion rather than a person who is just struggling to survive. Because remember, how you are seeing this can be true either way. You could say, well, look at this. Look, I'm surviving. I'd say, well, this is also someone who's backing up to take a running start. So which is going to empower you more? Your spirituality, your spiritual senses, they're all about sight. Me as a psychic, that's my gift, my intuition, how I see things, my third eye, my sight. So all of our sight is our gift. And we have it in different areas of life. So this is the message for you. How are you seeing this? Are you seeing this as you're struggling along, trying to keep your head above water? Or are you seeing is that you're learning how to breathe underwater and above water and actually learning how to water ski now instead of being dragged by a boat? So you're going to accomplish this now. I feel very good about that for you.
By the way, I forgot to mention. So I thought this was actually my ring, and I've been wearing it on the podcast.
Yeah.
Can you please tell us what rock this is?
This is pyrite.
Pyrite.
Yeah.
It looks incredible.
It's pyrite because pie is always right to have during the holiday seasons.
Okay.
This is apple pyrite, Erica.
Okay, Lydia Green. I lost my brother Tony. Anything
Hi, Lydia.
he has to say?
Yeah, I can understand. I relate. The whole reason I became a medium is losing my own brother. So I feel you. It's nothing like losing a sibling. I think that losing a parent is, I mean, it may sound weird, but losing a parent to me is easier than losing a sibling because
Well, you lost both your parents.
I lost
and
both my
your
parents
sibling.
and my sibling. And I do feel that your siblings kind of represent, in a sense, more you because it's your generation. And your parents, there's a part of you that
You're
do
really in it
understand that.
together.
Yeah, you understand that older people will pass away. Lydia, did you say?
Yes.
And what's his name? Tony?
Yes.
So Anthony also. Flowers immediately to you. Who's the person that goes around, is walking around this lake? Somebody's like saying, feed the ducks. Walk around the lake and feed the ducks. Give me a moment. You know, it's interesting. When I feel his vibration, it's almost like a deep, heavy bass. You never feel those cars that have big stereos where they take the back seat out and they put these big subwoofers? His energy is like a big subwoofer, Lydia, coming through. It's like bumping down the street like that to me right now. And that's why I'm silent, because I'm feeling it coming through me.
Whoa.
Yeah. Is the name Aiden, by the way, also connected to you? I'm curious. Or Ada, I don't know, that name is coming through. Maybe this is a friend of that person's, of your brother or not. He is there to see fulfillment. He will watch you have more and more fulfillment in the area of relationship. So he's going to be helping you with that. I want to describe what I see him as. He's all in white, which is very rare, actually. People think, and anytime I connect to people, they're on the other side, they're all in white. I've never seen it. This is one of the first times that I'm actually seeing someone in white.
That's very symbolic.
It's very symbolic because it is like rising into angelic self, free of all inner disturbance.
So it's like he's saying
he's free of
giving a
inner
message to
turmoil.
her.
He's free of inner turmoil. Wants you to know.
Wow.
He also wants you to know he's always right. That's really funny. I would love to know what that joke is. Let me know, Lydia.
So Stormy Jean Thiessen is responding to her cat Mouse, and
Yes.
she says, yes, we do have a sock pile from laundry that sits on the table until we match and fold them.
That's really funny. And your
Yeah.
cat is watching you do that.
So I wanted to,
Yeah.
I don't want to lose this question. So
Sure.
somebody's asking about their dog, and I just had it. So
Okay.
give me a second. It's hard to have different screens and keep up with everybody here. So just give me a second. Their dog had crossed over right here.
Also,
Wait.
I want to say there's a name coming
Same
through.
person.
There's a name coming through. If this connects with you guys, the name is Max. It's either the person who passed away or they're trying to get a message to that person connected to you. Max is the name.
Tammy Lane, I would like to ask about my dog. That was very special. His name was Zed. He passed in 2017. He was a boxer lab mix.
Curious if this, the first thing that I'm getting about this animal is the bones. I was wondering if did this animal ever break any bones, or was it something that happened in the bones with your animal? Because he's jumping right through hoops. He's like, I'm jumping. He can jump through hoops, by the way. He's jumping through hoops in my psychic mind right now to say hello. It's like jumping through dimensions to say hello to you. He's like, I'm a blue ribbon winner. I'm not just, he's like, I'm a blue ribbon winner. I'm not like just mixed. I'm not a mutt. I'm like my own being. Oh. He's putting his paw, I said his hand, his paw right on like your throat and collarbone area and giving you a little kiss. Giving you a little kiss. And the teeth are super shiny and bright, by the way. Thank you for taking care of me. That goes without saying. I have to say it. I mean, of course, your pets will thank you, but I have to say it even when it comes through. So, outside this place did you move? Because I don't know if this place that I'm seeing is where you're living now, like where you walked this dog, but they're still like, he visits that area, your dog, where you used to be. I keep getting where you used to be. So if you would clarify that for me, I'd let us know.
Okay, a couple things.
Yeah.
My uncle Max passed.
Thank you. Who's it?
Brooke Fuzzard.
Hi, Brooke. Max is saying hello. And he's on the other side, almost like a knight learning how to use a sword. And wants you to know. By the way, there's someone else with us, unless this is him, smoking a cigar. And they definitely, someone here smoked a cigar connected to you, Brooke, or to Max. But Max saying hello and giving you much love. So glad that I was able to let you know.
So you had given a message from Michael who had passed, and she's responding about the chocolate.
Uh-huh.
And yes, that takes me back to a core memory with him. Thank you.
Oh, you're so welcome. Thank you. He's giving you more chocolate now, Jasmine.
Okay. So there is somebody that I read, Erica's looking for it now, who they wanted to thank their guides for saving, I think it's her daughter's life. It's somewhere further back in the scroll, Erica. So see if you can find. Also, anybody who had any super chats on the first round when we first tried to go live, we were not live. It was just a blank screen. So we had to end the chat and start over, and those super chats were lost.
Oh, I'm sorry about that.
Those that were lost, I tried to answer some of them. I think Brooke maybe, or some other people might have some to re-ask those questions.
Something interesting is coming up. So
just text it.
One of the people that I've gotten messages about and for was a very amazing, or is an amazing being named Marcel Marceau. And I've channeled about him over the years. And is there somebody out there who's learning mime, or did you have somebody who crossed over like a an older lady who was teaching dance or mime, because somebody's here wanting to come through. So please let me know. And maybe you even have a picture of this person in the makeup, in that like mime or clownish kind of makeup, this person who crossed over. If that's connected to you, please drop us a line here on the live chat and I'll give you a message.
Okay, so I found it. So Karen Posey,
Yes.
My daughter and I are watching you tonight. We know there's a spirit guide who helped save her life. Can you let them know how grateful we are? Thank you.
Yes, thank you. You're welcome. And let me find out. Karen Posey, what's the name? Whew. Here's a goddess energy. It's so beautiful. You know, I sometimes have to pause because, and I hope you guys understand, because when I'm pausing, it's because it's almost like someone is like standing behind me and their energy is like overwhelming to me. So it's not easy to just process that so quickly. And I'm curious, I have a question for you. With this life-saving, how did you get your breathing or your pulse, your heart rate back to normal? Was that this issue? And they're putting their hand here, so that's my throat area. But I don't know what that's about. So this guide has been working with you in that realm. Okay, thank you. So the message I want to give to you about this is that this was for you to develop and to expand into your own creative abilities and to expand them. This is Karen, for your daughter whose life was saved. And this is about you understanding that the sensitivity and expressing yourself and to creatively express yourself. I'm going to describe the guide, the goddess energy. It's like massive gold wings with gold hair, gold skin, golden eyes. Imagine that. And big golden wings. Massive. We're on a gold background, like gold foil. That kind of beautiful energy. I don't have a name for you at the moment. If I did, I would say it, but that's the image. Next,
there's a lot of following up and like...
Tell me about the following up. I love to hear the follow-ups.
I know, but some of them, I mean, Erica, can you help with that while I look?
I'm blanking on the person's name right now, but you said, was there an Aiden?
Yes, the Aiden.
They confirmed that was their nephew.
Yes. Oh, they did?
That was connected.
So the person I was talking to said
Yes.
there is an Aiden connected to them, and that was the nephew. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Thank you. That person is looking over them.
We had more. Sparkly Art Goddess gave the names.
Okay. So
there's another message coming through. Just like it just comes through. They just drop the messages. So somebody out there, did you just take out your front door and replace it with a new front door? These are very specific things. Like you took out your front door, or this front door needs to be replaced. I'm not talking about the lock. I'm talking about the entire front door. Let me know.
Okay, Sparkly Art Goddess, whose name is Andrea.
Yes.
Her mother crossed over 5 years ago and wondering if she can get a message. The mother's name is Sandra.
Thank you. Yes. I get a yes that I can. So she peeks in at you. I want you to imagine a doorway and the door opening and it's to the bedroom. It's like she looks after you when you don't know it. So it's almost like, when parents, a lot of time parents do in real life, right, in living life, look after their kids and watch them when they sleep sometimes. And this is very true here. Red roses, red roses, red roses. By the way, I have to tell you about your spirit animal. You have the cutest monkey, the kind that has symbols in their hands, like those old toys that did like this. Your mom's message to you is that you are an original. You are an original. There is, it's either an etching or a carving or an engraving, because I see something that, was this on a cup or on something silver that was etched? Please let me know, because she's coming through to talk about that. Also, the month of September is significant, big heart around the month of September. Let us know about that.
Erica, did we answer Jen about Kundalini?
No.
Okay.
I have not
Jen,
spoken about
thank
Kundalini
you
yet.
for being so patient. Oh my God. I was trying to get to you.
Okay.
Jen asked, Riz, what is Kundalini, its purpose, and what ignites it? I've either started becoming tuned into my body sensations or something else that's going on.
Okay. So Kundalini. Classically, what we're referring to Kundalini, and I'm going to simplify it, guys, and there's, of course, we can literally speak about it, not just for hours, but lifetimes, because when we're talking about Kundalini, we're talking about life force energy. In the East, in India, we call it prana. In other parts of Asia, we call it chi. We call it the force. We call it life force, universal energy, flow. So understanding that flow is everything. Life is flow. The flow is eternal. What is the flow? It is life itself, energy itself. Everything is energy. Everything is flow. Flow is always occurring. Anytime that we are experiencing what we consider to be a negative emotion or a stagnancy, it is we are resisting flow. So Kundalini energy, which people have been taught, exists at the base of the spine, thinking about it as a coiled up snake. And as you begin to open your Kundalini, this energy rises through the chakras. And of course, it kind of enlivens you. It activates your body and all body, mind, and spirit in all sorts of ways. Some people simply think that Kundalini activation is just sexual. No, it's not, because sexual could also mean proactive, it could mean reproductive, it could mean creative, all of this together, right? So that energy driving up forward through all the different chakra systems of the body. So if you're having a Kundalini awakening, and you could have several, it can really get your attention, okay? So you have to learn how to experience that. So I suggest, of course, take Kundalini yoga. That's the best way to do it, is find an experienced teacher in your area and take the class. That is the best way to understand Kundalini energy. And we all have it. And the spine, the physical body, is here for a purpose. We chose to have physical bodies to be the interface through which we allow ourselves to surrender to flow. With each incarnation that we come to the planet, we came here to grow. So we didn't come to each lifetime in a perfect sense of like when you're an infant. And, we just did a channeling last week where I channeled Shirdi Sai Baba, who spoke and said,
I can't believe you're so psychic. I just was saying it to myself. I was like, we need to tell everybody about the channeling session that we just did.
Okay,
and
so
you heard me.
Go back into
That
our video
happens all the
list on this
time.
channel. Right,
Yes.
It does. Where each Wednesday we do Midnight Madness, where we do interview with a spirit guide. I don't know who I'm going to channel. Oriah doesn't know who I'm going to channel, and we just do it. So first time ever, I channeled this amazing Indian guru whose name was Sai Baba, Shirdi Sai Baba. There's two Sai Babas. So Shirdi, Shirdi, Shirdi Sai Baba, came through and gave this amazing message. And please listen to it. But part of what he said was how even though babies are born enlightened, what do we mean they're born enlightened? They are natural yogis. Their bodies are flexible. Their minds are flexible. They can learn different languages all at once. They are not prejudiced. They are not classist. They are not sexist. They are able to walk by watching you walk, and they process it by watching you, and they learn all the languages. So this is an enlightened being, right? So if you're enlightened, why are you still coming to Earth to incarnate? Because you came to even go to the next level. So that enlightenment is not just one stage, meaning it's not a destination, it's a constant opening. And so since universal flow is never ending, you are also that, because you're not separate from it. So this is what you are learning to surrender to. It's not about reading every book on the planet, and it's just too much time. It always comes down to the magic of your, what I call the magic of your victory is your surrender. And speaking of which, this is a good time to announce, in 2024, I am launching, guys, my Mystic School. So it's going to be the Riz MIRZA School of Mystic Arts, and you will learn about psychic awareness. I'm going to have entire semesters, semester 1, semester 2, semester 3, different levels. So even if you're a practitioner, you can always go back to the basics is good. And even if you're a beginner, of course, you start there. So it'll be courses on psychic awareness, connecting to your spirit guide, the chakra system, understanding how to read energy through objects, through feelings, how to understand how to be a better at mediumship. So all of these courses I'm going to be offering. And you can either take one course at a time, or you can buy all the courses at a cheaper price. So that is going to be available to you. And I didn't think I was going to announce it, but I might as well announce it. And so stay tuned for that, and follow me on Instagram and on the website, and you'll see when it's going to be available.
We normally forget all the time to ask you guys to only limit your questions to one, to give everybody a chance.
Yes, please do that.
But once you purchase a super chat, we have to answer that question. So
Yeah.
Carrie asked quite a few questions tonight, which is fine, but in the future we're going to try to limit that.
Right.
So Carrie, but she did ask a very interesting question.
Sure.
So can you channel Seth from the Jane Roberts books? I have some questions for him, or just
No,
channel him
because
in general.
Seth had already said to Jane that he was never going to come through anyone else but her.
Just like Red Eagle has
Red
said
Eagle's
that.
never going to come through anyone else but me, because there's certain life soul contracts, and Seth and Jane and her husband Robert were very clear that Seth was never going to come through anyone else, and that's remained true. And I know there are a couple of people who claim to channel Seth. What they're channeling might be good, but it's not Seth, because I know the integrity and the validity of what Jane channeled for all of those years. Jane Roberts, for those of you who don't know, was a channeler in the 1960s who really gave birth to almost every spiritual teacher, from Wayne Dyer to Deepak Chopra to Marianne Williamson to everybody and Esther Hicks. Everybody owes everything to Jane Roberts. Everyone in the West. So her and her husband, they were husband and wife team. Do you like those husband and wife teams that do channeling?
Not only do I like that, but I really love that Jane Roberts' birthday is May 8th, like my birthday.
So her birthday is May 8th and Jane Roberts' birthday is May 8th. That's right. So no, but can I tell you something? I'm very happy to explain Seth's material to you if you ever have a question about Seth's material. Here's what's interesting, and I might as well say it because I've never said it in the public before. No, I have not channeled Seth, nor will I ever, but I have channeled Jane. And the only person that she has ever channeled to has been Oriah in private conversations and private channelings.
And Riz totally forgot that there was another channeling that's up on YouTube.
What are you talking about?
But it was private.
It was a private, but it's on YouTube.
Oh, it is?
Yeah. It was in one of those big uploads that I did of a lot of your previous channelings that we had private channelings.
I didn't know it was on YouTube.
Yeah, but that was from years and years ago.
But that was a private conversation,
Yeah, it was
right?
a private conversation.
Yeah, so I've channeled Jane. She's
incredible.
Amazing.
One day I'll have to talk to you guys about our conversations that I have with Jane. It's life-changing, and it has encouraged me and has kept me on my path in the line of work that we do that's very unusual and not very common. Okay, so let's
see what else we got. Can I scroll through?
Nope. I'm in control at this moment because I have a lot going on here.
Oh.
So Jennifer Kelly, do you want to read it, or do you want me to read it?
No, I want you to read it.
Hi, Riz. I have been wanting to plan towards attending one of your retreats. Do my guides have any advice about which retreat may be best for my growth? Thank
100% it is for you, Sedona. I don't even know if we have room. What about August, Sedona?
The August one we do.
So we have like 4 Sedona
we just
retreats.
Opened the August dates for Sedona.
Yeah, but I thought it sold out. No? We have a few spots?
Our Sedona and Shasta retreats sell out so fast.
Okay,
Here,
so we
I'm gonna
haven't
put
gone
the
through the
link.
list. So what happens with our retreats, guys, is that I put these retreats together. Let's say there's 10 spots. We always get, 50 requests to be on it. So what I do is I have to feel into psychically who belongs on what retreat. And that's how all my retreats have been the last 10 years. So there is space because it has to be that I just didn't see the right names that have to go together. And it's not that everyone's similar. In fact, I like to have a diverse group of people. Some people who are just quote unquote beginners, and some people who have been like psychics for, 10 years, because it makes for a nice, lively, dynamic group. So for you, I'm feeling Sedona. We do have another retreat, which you might be interested in, which is going to be the Glastonbury retreat. So that is a Merlin's retreat. We have a retreat called The Magical Way of Merlin, which is going to take place in Glastonbury, England. So it'll include Stonehenge, and it'll include Merlin's Cave and the town of Glastonbury. It's known for the music festival, but actually it's the place where Merlin's Cave exists. And it is an incredible spiritual town. You're going to feel like you are walking, you think Salem at Halloween? Oh my God.
I think this might be one of my most favorite moments of you channeling ever, will be you channeling Merlin in his home.
I'll be channeling Merlin the entire time we're there.
Like
including King Arthur.
I don't even know what I'm going to do with myself.
Because they are guides. Some people go, did they exist? Not only did they exist, they do exist. And see, spirit guides that you think are mythological, they were written about in a storybook, they're not real. Not true. So they exist. And they come through, and they go into the minds of usually the artist. They channel, because a lot of artists and writers, they're channelers. They're channeling They're channeling the messages from these characters. They become characters in a book, but they are actual beings. For example, it's really interesting. People go, well, that's mythology. They'll say things like, it's Hindu mythology. What do you mean it's Hindu? Why aren't you saying it's Christian mythology? Why is that a religion, but Hinduism is not a religion? You don't believe Krishna is real, but you believe, Abraham's real. Why can't they both be real? Why do you have to say mythology for certain people?
I have an idea.
Certain populations.
Let's get rid of the word mythology.
Let's get rid of the word mythology. Okay. Well, let's start understanding that.
Because mythology gives you like a separation for what is real and what is not.
Yeah, you just said that means it's not real.
Do we really even know what's real?
No, we do not.
So why do we have the word mythology? Who are we trying to control here?
Right. So someone will say Archangel Michael, but then no one will say, well, that's mythology.
Who's the police here that has to police what is real, what is not mythology?
The notions of authority that go on in the... How can you have authority in the world of the unknown? See, that's why I use the word guide.
How can you have authority in the world of the unknown? There's gems dropping tonight, everyone. Write them down.
So what I do, and I want to... So let's go. Someone will say, well, are you the authority? No, I never will I say I'm the authority. What I will say is this. As a guide, just like anyone who teaches you music or anyone teaches you accounting, they have been further down the path and they have dived deeper than you, so they come back up from the depths to tell you what's down there. Not everything that's down there, because they know they haven't. They're telling you the mechanics of reality creation. When you understand the mechanics of reality creation, everywhere you've gone and you're applying it, then you can come back and tell people, well, it seems to work this way with energy. So that's what we're doing. That's what the proper word is, a guide. So as a shaman, I'm a guide.
We're a tour guide.
As an empath, you are a guide through people's emotions and understanding the power of their emotions and how to use them rather than feel abused by their own relationships.
Well, Alana had a super chat, but we did not answer two of the questions.
Hi, Alana. Let's answer them. Let's get to you.
So the question was, who are her spirit guides?
Yes.
And that she's working with, and the signs that they use. So like any signs that they're giving her.
Yes, I got you.
Knows.
Alana is the name. How do you spell it?
Alanna.
2 N's. Thank you. You have a very beautiful snake spirit animal with you. And this snake, it can sound scary when someone says a snake, but they have so much to offer in terms of the way they move. Look how they move, the grace and the speed at which they move without feet. And this message is for you. This aspect of that spirit animal of snake is teaching you that I don't even have feet yet. I have learned how to move so quickly. So this is understanding how to be resourceful Alana, in your life, learning how to be resourceful. So someone says, well, I can't run because I don't have feet. And the snake says, I don't have feet either, but I have adapted to sidewinding, or I've adapted to learn how to use my body against the ground to propel myself forward. And I don't see it as a handicap. I see it as utilizing the gifts that I already have. And this is message from Snake to you. Also a guide that is coming through, which is so fun. I mean, my God, it's like this is the way I'm going to describe it. So you ever see, there are shamans in different tribal traditions that will put on the garb of certain animals, and like there'll be the bear, or now they are the hawk, or now maybe they're being a demon. You have two like shaman guides with you. And I don't know if you traveled in the last year to somewhere where there was a living indigenous culture, but I feel like you picked this up along the way. And they're talking about dance, and they're talking about moving your body and keeping in rhythm and making, like, if you can take a class even of any kind of dance is actually fine, but it should be more, it's not ballet, right? I would prefer if it was like African or something that had a tribal feel to it, but it could be salsa. It has to be something that's not stiff at all, very free flowing. And listen to music with drums. Listen to music with drums. They're trying to get you back in touch with feeling free in your body, Alana. Feeling like the beating of your own heart coming forward. They're waking you up at like 3:30 in the morning, by the way, also. So if you are waking up at that time, it's for you to just have a smile and a laugh and to let go. Yes. That's the message.
Okay, ready?
Yes.
Okay, so we're going to John Thiessen.
John Thiessen.
Hello, John.
There was someone else named Thiessen earlier.
Yes, I don't know if there's any connection. Next
Maybe
year,
now Tiffany Amber Thiessen will drop in and ask her
Next
how
year
Life
we'll-
on Saved by the Bell was.
Next year will mark 15 years performing with my band family.
Yes.
Any messages from my guides on how we should reach more people in the new year, or anything I should be focusing on?
Well, you already know the normal ways in this day and age how to reach more people. Right? We have the normal ways. We have social media, and that's the way you reach more people. But what it is, Second Wind. So there's a singer that I was very much a fan of, and I have received messages from him, and he's always there when I ask, and I don't ask very often, but I just asked him in my mind for you. And his name was Ronnie James Dio, and he's one of my favorite artists who ever lived on the planet, and the voice of 10,000 Towers.
Do you know, I believe that he works with you as a guide, because he has come through at so many very pertinent moments at very specific times. I mean, it was clear that that's his purpose at the end of this life that he had.
Yes. He wants me to tell you that take the time and use some resources to create very interesting visuals that you can put up online. So of course that would mean a video. Of course, what else would it be? But
so he's Stormy's husband.
Okay.
And they're in the band together.
Beautiful. I don't know what kind of music you do. It's not about the kind of music that Dio did. He's just an artist and a channeler of energy, and he works with me. And anytime there's a question about like music, I usually will ask him. So it's about new visuals and new approach to visuals. People are listening with their eyes just as much as their ears, is what he's saying. People also listen with their eyes. So make use of that. And don't be afraid to be even quirkier, which simply means can also be avant-garde, a different approach visually to the music. Something where you would say, if someone else did it, oh, thank you. Okay, so the message is asking people, even asking young people, let's say you ask some like 17-year-olds or 16-year-olds, play the song for them and say, what do you visualize when you hear this? What do you see? And getting that fresh perspective and letting yourself take that in. By the way, I know this has nothing to do with the music, but I want to say, like, no more dairy for you, Stormy. I feel like your body's going to need like a detox of things. Maybe you don't do it anyway, but I got to say that, like, your spirit guides are giving you an upgrade in your life force right now. Okay, so that's what that is about the music. Amazing. Send us a link to your music. We'd love to hear it.
So this is an interesting question from Bernadette. Who is my soulmate from the 1800s? Is he here?
In this physical life? Is that what that means? Yes. Is your soulmate reincarnated? The soulmate you had in the 1800s, you obviously clearly feel them. I mean, I don't even have to answer that for you. Of course the answer is yes. You know who it is, and you know that they are here. I would think you do. The answer I'm getting is yes. Yes. It's a simple answer. But I get it. You asked if it was true, and the answer I'm getting is yes, it is true. They are here, meaning you already know them. Okay, I have another throwing it out there. There's somebody here who's coming through. So, you know, there was a Greek god named Apollo. Was there also a Greek god named Achilles?
Yes.
So it's either the name Apollo or Achilles has some significance to someone out there. Whether this is, I don't think there's anybody named Apollo or Achilles. Maybe a dog, right?
It could be a logo or.
Right. It could be. So does this have any significance to someone out there? There's someone here coming through on the other side who's referring to this with you. Maybe it's the name of a street. I don't know. I don't know what it is. But it's either Apollo or Achilles.
And this is going out for anybody?
Someone who's watching right now is connected to this. And that person on the other side is with me right now, using this as a trigger word for them to know who it is. Okay. So
Kim Ward has a question.
Hi, Kim.
I did a career personality test. It came back manager, boss, or investigative journalist.
Oh, wow.
I'd like to start a web design business or agency. Do you see this or something else good for me to pursue?
Well, I don't see investigative journalist for you, but I loved hearing that because I think that whatever that was about your inquisitive mind to getting to the truth. So she's saying, what is the business she wants to start?
No, she just wants to know if you can tell her.
You said she's starting a business.
Okay, so let me start. Oh, it was marketing. I was answering someone else. Hold on. Let me go back. I was thrown off a little bit because Carrie said that Carrie High Vibe said that her horse is named Apollo.
Thank you.
And I just was like, that just threw me off. So then I now have to go back to where I was originally.
Okay, so that's where I have to go right now. Let me just jump
Kim,
right there.
We'll get back to you.
No, I'm not going to forget you, Kim. But that came through. So there's a guide or somebody here looking after the Apollo, the horse, and it feels like there's some irritation or some sort of healing. Maybe it's an allergy or something going on with this horse, but it should be fine. And the horse likes flowers, by the way. And like literally you could scatter, make sure that the horse doesn't eat I mean, I don't know if horses can eat flowers or not, but like the smell of flowers, you could maybe carry a bouquet of flowers and show Apollo these flowers, like bring a bouquet and just maybe the Apollo will smell them or see that you have them. Okay, that's the message. But you have a guide watching over this horse for you. Okay, now back to Kim.
Okay, so we have to find Kim again.
And this is going to be the last one tonight.
Oh, we have several chats already.
Oh, we do?
Waiting.
A web design business agency?
Oh, okay. So you want to read the whole thing?
You don't need to read it. What was the question? A web design business agent? If this is the right move, yeah, that was the question. Yeah, it is the right move because what it's going to do is it's your first step into the new realm of how you're getting into networking and communications with people. This is going to turn even into branding, my friend. Good for you, but keep going. Yes, this is the right step. Okay, next.
Okay, we're closing the chats tonight, you guys.
Yes.
But we're going to go to Kim Ward. I did a career personality test.
just did that.
Sorry. Sorry. Roxy. And how do you pronounce the last name here? Deal?
Okay.
My name is Missy. I'm just starting my spiritual journey. Not sure what I need to focus on. There's so much to learn. I decided to take a step forward and do this. Who are my spirit guides and where do they want me to start?
Thank you. You're first now. This is going to be, you're jumping into the world of trance channeling and spirit guides. I'm glad that you're here. Welcome aboard. And remember something. So that it doesn't get overwhelming with all the information and everything that you can possibly, get into, read, take part in. There's so much. It's like a whole new world that opens up to you, right? So don't worry, you'll find a way to not let it overwhelm you. All of us have been down that path where like, I want to go check that out. Oh, I got to eat those foods. Oh, I got to go to that meditation. I got to go to that retreat. And so go to all of them. Go to enjoy. Just remember that the base of all spiritual growth is always about being able to feel peaceful in your heart. And all the modalities that are given to you, whether it's energy work or psychic work or channeling or shamanic work, is about returning you to your truest self, which is the most peaceful and free and grateful self. And all of it, nothing is more powerful, Missy, nothing. I don't care what it is in the world. What I have learned with my years on the planet is that gratitude is the most powerful force to change the vibration in your body, your mind, and your spirit. So practicing gratitude is number one. And nothing ever will match that. So experience all those modalities. Now, your spirit guides, you have a very interesting spirit guide that is with you, and the name is John Philip Sousa. Now, I kind of vaguely remember that name. It has something to do with music. Is that true? Yeah. Mm-hmm. What was John Philip Sousa known for? I don't know, but that's the name. He's a composer, right? Yeah. Could you find out for me?
Like marching band kind of music.
Okay, so the marching band kind of music is marching forth for you, and he is leading the parade for you, my friend. And go and see things like parades. You go, well, shouldn't I go to a meditation? Well, meditation is wonderful, but a parade is about celebration. They're celebrating, they're singing and dancing and saying hello and waving to each other. Celebration is the most powerful vibration on the planet, Missy. It's more powerful than meditation. I'd rather be on a planet of 7 billion people celebrating together than meditating together. Right? Because meditating is wonderful. I think that would be beautiful too. But what would be more lit is to have 7 billion people celebrating together. So that's one of your guides. Also, I want to tell you that your spirit animal that is working with you is your phoenix. You have a phoenix spirit guide working with you. How beautiful. Of course, that is always about rising from the ashes. I have to go back to 4 to 5 years ago. It's pre-COVID, so that's maybe more than 4 years ago. So that's more 5 to 6 years ago. So that would be 2018 is what I'm getting, is where I see the big change or the big hit you, the big tsunami or wave that hit you. And you are right on time, my friend, coming forward and out of that. Very, very good. One of the things I do want to recommend for you for your physical body is hot and cold immersion. So that means you don't need to find an ice bath, but it's when you do your body experiences hot to cold, do this a few times in the shower. Hot shower, then immediately turn all the hot off and go to cold rinse, then go back to hot, then go back to cold. It is about kind of revitalizing yourself and clearing your aura off. Learn about saging. One of the best ways that you can do as a beginner and even as a lifetime practitioner is to sage your house once a week. Learn how to cleanse the energy in your home. If you don't know how to do it, hire someone to do it the first time and learn from them. There's plenty of videos and things that you can watch. I'm going to even put out some videos about that as well on our channel, which are free, and you're going to be able to learn about how to do that. And when you're ready, take a look at the new school that we're going to be having online, and you can learn in the comfort of your own home how to tap in and open your third eye. So those are your guides for now, and thank you for dropping in with us.
Well, we are wrapping up for the night, but I'd like to talk specifically to the new people that have come join us, and there's a lot of new questions that came in, especially for mediumship questions. Of a lot of people have lost their mothers. It was a theme tonight, a lot of mother energy. So here's what I suggest. Next Sunday, those of you who would like to get a reading or a message from your loved one that's crossed over, just make sure you just sign in right away when we go live at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Just make sure that, if you get a super chat, there's a very strong chance it'll get up there, right away. We try to get through the super chats, but we try to get to everybody. So, we'll be here all night, right? And we really want to help you. We really want to give you these messages. So just make sure on next Sunday night, you guys all tune in if you're new. And if you want to find out more about who we are, there's several ways to do that. Number one, go back. I keep hitting my mic all night tonight, so let's just get that out of the way. So you just go to our YouTube channel, see our previous episodes for Psychic Sundays and see how that goes. And we also have the Metamystic Midnight Madness or Riz channels, as we've talked about, so you get to see that. Also, we have tons and tons of educational videos that are free, and that's all on our YouTube. And if you want to check out our website, rizmirza.com, RIZMIRZA,
right,
then that is where you are going to just get the mother load. So you'll get all the information that you could possibly need. And, we're always coming up with new content and new ideas and new ways to connect and communicate as the world is changing, and we're getting more and more downloads and more information. So we will be coming out with this school that Riz has been talking about tonight. And I'm just so excited about that because it'll answer a lot of these questions too.
And last but not least, since someone brought up one of the retreats, Sedona is really the last retreat that we have space for in August, and that's going to be for the Lionsgate portal, which is a very powerful psychic period. It's really the spiritual new year is then. So do check that out. Thank you for being here. We send you much love. Let's stay right here, third eye to third eye, everybody.
And one last thing, make sure, this is something I always forget, make sure you subscribe to this YouTube channel so we can keep this going. And also subscribe to the website, because we're always announcing things that are happening that we don't talk about on YouTube, that we
special
send out,
offers, discounts,
every week. And here's our contact information if you want to get a hold of us. Erica, our assistant, is here with us. So our email is info@rizmirza.com. And if you have any questions about anything, she'll be more than happy to answer those questions. And I think that's it. Yay, everybody. Thank you so much. We really appreciate meeting all of you. We're going to go through and look through some of these that we haven't even seen yet. And we're really, really grateful that we have this opportunity. So hope you feel the holidays. Be
good. Have a good week, everyone.
Be cozy.
We'll see you next Sunday.
Okay.
Much love.